Okay, hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to be doing MagicQ. This is uh, this is a lighting programming software. I'm going to try to walk you through the steps of typically what I do when going and getting ready. Now I'm no expert at this program. I only use 10% of its full potential, but this is just like the quick startup guide for what goes on. So I already have this file here, but I want to start brand new. So I'm just going to hit new and then, excuse me, I'm going to go here. Now, one thing that I would like to point out is that, whenever you first make a new show, um, and you open it up, it should look something like this. Um, I am going to go, this is the setup window, it says it right here. So anything within this area is the setup window, and then these things are like different tabs that you can view to view, things that happen. So anyway, sorry, I'm very tired. Windows is an important one. I typically, if you're in normal mode, you shouldn't need to mess with any of this. Obviously, most of these are pretty self-explanatory, and so if you know what you're doing and you know what you need to be doing, then do it. But the biggest and most important thing is the color scheme. Default, it's black like this. I like it. It's easier on the eyes, except to be honest, the gray is typically better. But the black is usually default on the newer versions, so you might have to go change that. If you want, you can do the gray. I like the gray because it's higher contrast. I can see the different individual parts of the thing. So anyway, I'm done with the setup. I'm going to exit out of that, and I'm actually going to close out of everything else because we're starting fresh. So these buttons over here will take you to different pages. And so the first page that you ever want to go to when you're starting a new show is the patch page. And then you get this empty window here, but we have to patch our heads, which basically tells the thing what DMX address each head is on. Sometimes people will actually patch their heads first, and then they'll read the software and see where the software is assigning the DMX addresses. If you want to know more about how DMX addressing works, you can look up YouTube videos about that. It's pretty self-explanatory because, as you know, if you do know a little bit, you know that each head might have multiple different attributes or multiple different properties and settings that are each controlled by a channel. And so if you set, you know, a light with 3 channels and you say this is going to be on channel 20, well, it's really taking up channel 20, 21, and 22. So the next one has to be on 23, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do is, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to the patch window. I'm going to hit choose head right up there. And now I have a list of all of the names of all the manufacturers that are in the library of MagicQ, which is quite a lot. If you, for some reason, don't know the brand of your light, or you can't find the brand, you can actually make your own head files. But that's a whole nother tutorial. So for now, I'm going to be sticking with an example using clay packy Sharpies, which are really common lights that everyone on YouTube tutorials use, but they're very expensive in real life. I've never actually seen them, you know, unless you're at a really big thing. But anyway, I'm going to hit the Sharpie. I'm going to do the standard mode, which is just 16 channels or whatever any of this really means. We'll get into that in a second. And so now that I have it selected, you hit patch it, and it's going to ask you for the number of heads, and then at the universe, and then the channel. So the example here, it says that there's 5 heads at universe 2 starting at channel 1. Well, we're not going to be using multiple universes in this tutorial. So one universe is 512 DMX channels, and so I want 20 of these Sharpies. That's going to be the thing. So I hit auto insert into the visualizer, and here they are. So now, as you can see, they take up 16 channels each. So the first one goes from DMX 1 to 16. So the second one starts at 17. And so these numbers here are what you put on your, you go into the actual light fixture and you set this, up. So now, one powerful tool is the visualizer. If you go to this top tab and then view visualizer, you'll see that we can actually see that it just automatically put these lights up here in rows. But I'm going to kind of mimic a typical, or not a typical, but a stage setup that might be, useful. But this visualizer right here is, it's pretty darn useful, especially if you have a bad line of sight on your, excuse me, if you have a bad line of sight on your, on the stage, or if you're on the side of the stage, which is terrible. I don't know why someone would put a lighting desk on the side of the stage, but regardless, this is useful. And I'm at home, so if you're on the road or something and you need to make a show file, you can use the visualizer. So I'm just going to use all one type of light to make it simpler, but of course, if you wanted to patch other ones, you go choose head, you find your other ones, and then you patch it, and you patch however many of those you want, and then you continue the cycle and whatever. Anyway, but here we've got our 20 Sharpies, and so now if I go over here and do View Visualizer, if you go to the Viz Heads, it's a list of all the heads that are in the visualizer, and if you hit yes, whenever you hit that patch window came up, it said auto insert heads in the visualizer. If you press yes, then they should all pop up here, which is perfect. If they don't, you might have to just remove those heads. And if you mess anything up and you need to repatch them, just select them all right here and then hit this remove button, rem, and then it'll ask, are you sure? But I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to, and then you redo it and you can fix it. This remove button is used to remove anything, and later on I'll show you how to assign these to keyboard keys so that it's way faster to maneuver. Sorry, let's get back into the visualizer. So click View Viz and go to Viz Heads so you can see all of these. So now, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach objects. So if I hit attach objects, up here you can hit insert, and now you have all of these different types of things. I'm just going to attach a truss, and then if I open up my visualizer, you'll see that it just puts a truss up right there. And so I actually want 3 trusses to make kind of like a rectangle with without a bottom, and that would represent kind of a stage thing. So let me just attach 3 of these. So insert truss again, and now we have these 3 trusses right here. Truss 1, truss 2, truss 3. So in order to change where things are located, I'm gonna make my visualizer. Some computers, like on Mac, there's probably a setting for it that keeps the visualizer on top. But I like that because although it does cover up some things, having it on top, you don't have to constantly switch back and forth between the two things. So anyway, here's our truss 1, and you'll see that over here on this side we have these knobs, and this position Z, position Y, position X. And so if I select my truss 1 and then I start wiggling the Y, it's gonna put it right there. So I want my truss to be about like that. And if you click these buttons, as you can see, it's going up by 1 when I press on the bottom half, and then it goes down by 1 when I press on this one. I'd recommend doing that more often, because otherwise you can see I can get really really precise with it, and then it's easier to line stuff up if you just press these buttons to change it. So this is going to be my top truss right here. Now let me go to truss 2, and actually I want to rotate this thing. So rotate Z. Okay, that worked. If it doesn't do what you want, like see rotate Y, it goes the wrong way. But anyway, you just kind of play around with it, and if you click these buttons, it goes from 0 to 90. It says +/- 90. So I'll go +90. And actually, yeah, I might have to change this in a second, but whatever. I'll explain that in a second. So now I'm going to put it down at the bottom of this and slide it over here and make sure lined up good with that one. And now I do the same thing with truss 3, rotate it 90 degrees. I'm going to make this one go -90 because I'm not sure which side it'll actually put our fixtures on. In fact, yeah, this should be fine, but anyway, I'm just changing. So this is all, again, you don't have to do this part. And so I apologize if you don't want to do this part and you're still watching. Thank you for watching still. So now I've got my trusses in the right positions. So go back to Viz heads, and now I've got 3 trusses. I'm gonna have 5 here, 5 here, 5 lights here, and then 5 on the bottom. That could be, wherever. It's just like an example. So I'm gonna select 5. You hold Shift and click to select multiple. So here's our 5. And what you want to do is hit Fit to Object and then choose the correct truss. So truss 1 is that top one. As you can see, it took 5 of them and it evenly spaces them across truss 1. If you want to affect their positioning, I'll show you how to do it when I do it with the ground ones. So now select the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hit Fit to Object truss 2. Perfect, they're facing inwards. That's what I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I accidentally did twice, or 2 of them. Truss 3, perfect. And see, I'm clicking and dragging and scrolling. These lights right here might be too far apart. I might have to move my trusses. And then these last 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those I'm not going to attach to a truss, but instead I'm going to put them on the ground. So I'll bring them down here to y equals 1. That's probably fine. Oh, no, that's going through the floor. So this is good right here. X position, I'll try to get them close to the middle. That's pretty good. And then I'm not trying to be really accurate here. Maybe I'll back it. So, okay, perfect. But what if I want to space these out, excuse me, more evenly? Right? If I want to add some space, this is a really cool button, and it's called, if I'm going to move this out of the way, it's called the fan button. So if I click fan, a thing will pop up for a second. You have to press and hold it, but just click it once, and it should work by default. It should work well by default. So now if I come over here, I'm in fan mode. And so if I start changing my X position, they all fan out like that. And so I'm going to put them about like that. That looks good for me. And so what you can do is if this top truss, if they're too close or too far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you come over here. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. I'm still in fan mode. It's got that red light. And so you can basically say, oh, okay, well, now I want to fan these in, let me see. Yeah, so see, you can fan them in or out. I'll fan them. I'll try to keep them in the default position. 4.8 because I just like it like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to attach objects. I'm gonna go to truss 1, truss 2. Is that right? Which one am I on? Oh, I'm sorry. You have to whoops, OBS, come back. There. Okay. So now look. Sorry. Click fan again to turn it off. Or you could hit all, and that kind of, it'll just select all of what you're doing. Because fan is kind of glitchy when you're trying to select one thing. Out a little bit, just to right here, I guess. Okay, that's fine. And then truss 3, I'm also going to want. There we go. Okay, so now I like the spacing. One thing to notice, though, well, it's kind of hard to see, but these bottom ones, they're pointing downwards. You see that? See how they're pointing downwards? And so you have to be careful about that. Some of the 3D models are not very good at seeing what's going on. But anyway, to fix the bottom ones, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to just rotate their Z. Nope, wrong way. Rotate Y, 180. Is that correct? No. It's rotate X. There we go. Now they're facing upwards. And then I can actually adjust their Y values to be a little bit more aware. Okay, perfect. We're done with the visualizer. It is good. Okay, cool. Okay, they're patched in. They're visualized. Awesome. I'm exiting out, and now it's time to start programming. So, first of all, if you come down here and hit Layout 1, it will bring up this, and this is your primary window. And so now, I'll start with, there's actually 4 windows. It's the group window, position window, color, beam. You can customize your layouts, but you really don't have to, and I'll show you why in a second, because there's a better way to get a view of all this for if you're performing or whatever. So let's start out with the group window. If I select my Sharpies, which this is the main group, it'll group the heads by type. So if I had the different types, I'd have more groups, and it just automatically does that. You can get rid of these if you want. It doesn't really matter. But if I hit locate, voila, what it does is it puts all of the lights in primary default position and color, which is white usually. And so it's like full brightness, regular position. If anything goes wrong and you're like, where's my light? You can select the group and hit locate. Or if you don't want to select the group, you hit view heads, and now we can see our individual ones. And actually what I'm going to do is make more groups for each truss. And so anyway, locate is really nice, and as you can see, my bottom ones are facing up, so I did my visualizer correctly. But anyway, down here, this clear button will clear out the programmer. And so then it clears it, la-di-da. What I'm going to do is let's get rid of the visualizer. I'm going to show you about macros real quick. This is a very basic tutorial. Hit macro button right here. And then if you go to inbuilt macro, you can basically assign each of these functions to a keyboard key. So obviously set, ink, update, all of these are these buttons here. So let's find the clear button, which is right here. That's probably the most used one for me. And then you put it in one of these slots, and then you hit assign macro, and then you press the key C. And it'll say macro 1 programmed, assigned to C plus C. And so down here, if I press C, it tells me programmer is cleared. So real quick, I'll show you. Let's go locate, view the visualizer, and now if I want to, whoa, what did I do? Stop that. Why is MagicQ doing this? Go back to your full screen. And now go to lay 1 and fix my, okay, there. So if I hit C, it clears it. Anyway, that's super useful. It'll speed up literally everything. So here's the ones that I use mainly, and we'll get more into what these do. Set, I assign that to S for set. Inbuilt macro record, I assign to R. Inbuilt macro remove, I assign, R is already taken, so I usually use D. Let's see, and then inbuilt macro copy, C, of course. Actually, C is clear. Copy will be, I guess, P, C-O-P, whatever. That's just what I use. I think there is a way to use key combinations, but I just like single keys because on the real board, it's a physical button. And there is some limitations to this, but I'll show you how to get around them. Copy, move. Move is useful. Assign M. Inbuilt macro, move, release, select, clear, highlight. Fan is usually useful. Odd and even is usually useful. In fact, I'm going to do odd, even, assigned to O, and then I'll do fan as well, and assigned to F. So anyway, if I need more, I'll just come back. Anyway, so I'm back to my layout 1. Again, hit lay 1 to go back. Now I'm going to start making more groups. So the first group I want to do is group them by truss. So these 5 are on truss 1. So you select them, and then, well, you see highlighting them, it says no head selected. You have to actually click and do the shift click thing for them to work. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit R, or you can come down here and hit record. And then I'll do just this one. And it put this new group here. Now if I hit set here, which is this, if I start typing, if I hit, C, it's going to clear the programmer and it's going to trigger that macro. So you just press shift or whatever to get the capital letters, and then now it's all good. So now this is the top truss, so I'll name it top. This one, I'm going to hit S and set it to all, because that's all of them. So now if I hit all, it selects all 20. Top is the first 5, and so obviously the next 5 is going to be, well, let me see what they are. Let me go view visualizer, and then I think it's, let me do locate for these. Okay, so these are the left truss. So I'll go record here, and then set left. And as you can see, whoa, what did I do? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay. Record, or no. No, no, no. Why did I do that? Okay, so delete these. Yep. So as you can see, hitting these buttons is way faster than moving your mouse over here. It's way easier. So this one I'll set to, this one was left. And so then the next 5 are going to be the right. And then record here. And then I'll also do these bottom ones as well. Oops. Oh, also, the order you select them in matters. See, 20, 19, 18, 17. So I want to go in order because otherwise, I mean, it just really depends. But whatever. Record here. So this is the right. Again, I'm using all caps because A, it's easier to read, and then B, whatever. B, bad things happen with my macros. So this is the bottom or ground, whatever you want to call it. You can name them whatever. Now I also want to do some specialized groups. So I want to do like top even. So I'll do, if you come over here and you press odd even, which I've programmed to be O. Oops, you have to be here. Odd even. Now it's going to exclude some. So this is like, and then if you record that, it'll actually name it for you automatically. So if I hit odd even again, it'll switch to the evens. And so I hit record even. And so I'm going to do this for every single one of them by hitting O, record this one, O again, record this one, and it's automatically doing it. So it's just, I'm sorry if I'm going fast, but I've been recording for how many minutes? 21 minutes, and we're on the second step. Basically, the second step. But anyway, bottom, odd, and then record. This is going to be a multi-part series, obviously. Well, maybe not. I might just record for an hour, and you can, jump around the video and, find out where you want to go. So bottom even, bottom odd. So what does this do? Well, if I hit left even and then hit locate, why is it not working? Oh, because they're down here. Well, big oof. What the heck? This is dumb. I wanted it to be like this one and then this one, but I guess it puts them, see, oh wait, 7, 8, 6, 9, 10. Oh, these are messed up. Top odd. Okay, so I'm going to clear everything out. Top odd, locate. That's what I want. Top even, locate. Now it's the other two. Perfect. Left odd. So all of these are wrong. So I'm going to select all of them and then remove them. Okay, it's making me go one by one, but not too bad. There's a way around that, but okay. So left, I'm going to hit left odd, left even, and record it here, and now locate. So see, it's just 6, 9, and 10. I don't know why it's doing that. So instead, I'm going to just do this manually. So I'm going to remove this. Yep. So the left odd, if this is top, left, is going to be these. And then the other one, okay. So now record here, set, left, odd. I have to do all caps because lowercase d is mapped. Whatever. And then left, even. And now if I clear it out, and then left odd, locate, every other one, locate. That's going to be cool for color combos and stuff like that later on. I wonder if there's a way for me to pause this. There's actually not, which is sad. But it's fine, because I wanted to just skip this dumb part of me selecting all these. I think what it's doing is it's going every other one, and then, well, if you did this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, I don't. So, right, odd. Before I learned about macros, my mouse was moving all over the place. I'd jump from here to here, from here to here. It made me dizzy. I was like, bruh, why is this like this? But because there are macros, it's great. Okay, bottom. So see, if I select the bottom and I hit odd even, now it's doing it right. So what the heck? Now it should be the other two, yeah. Now if I go here and hit locate, it's every other one. Why wasn't it working for the other ones? I don't know. So we're done. Perfect. And then we've got all locate, and there they are. Oh no, cancel. Oh, what the heck? Clear. Okay, I did something wrong. Okay, whoops, get this out of here. Now, the next step is, well, I would say position. So, yeah, I'll show you how to use the position one. I'm not actually going to program a bunch of positions because it's just going to be me sitting there, doing stuff. But basically, if I select these and then I locate all of my things and I say point to the right. Well, now you get this crazy thing because they're all pointing to the right, but they're all mounted differently. And so basically, it only makes sense for whenever they're facing up or down. If I go up, I mean, honestly, some of these positions, this is a really cool position. And it's just because they're all pointing their own way. And they're like, I refuse to conform to your thing. Like, here's down. Like, that's epic. That's epic gamer moment right there. Far down. Oh, that's even cooler. But anyway, I like to use these. But, I mean, for some of them, like these left and... Okay, so center is obviously fine. This one is chaotic. It doesn't look good, so I'm going to remove it. Yep. Far right, same deal. Yep. Far up and far down, they're okay. I like that. Especially transferring between them because it's like it's rotating a full 180 degrees, so it's like you can switch between these really fast and just have them strobing or something. It'd be cool. Left and right need to go because they're gross. Yep. Up is fine. Down is fine. So I'm gonna move all these to their. I'll do I'll group them together like that. And so I'm using this move key right here. When you hit move, you can you click move, click one, click the destination. So click the source and destination. Source, destination. So positions are pretty self-explanatory too. So let's say I want to work with my top group. You come to your position window. These knobs will now change, and now we have pan and tilt. This only works, obviously, for, and see I'm moving my tilt, and then I can move my pan. And then what you do is once you get a position that you like, you hit record. Now, if I hit record and put these here, and then I'll name it test, let me go ahead and view palette. And what it is you can see only 5 of these are actually affected by that one. So whatever you adjusted, whatever attributes you programmed in, that's what's going to be saved in any of these things. And all of these little buttons here are called palettes. And that's pretty important to know. Not really. But, so for example, if I go center, or let me select all and go center. Everything's in the center. I still have all my Sharpies selected, but if I hit test, it's only moving those tops because those 5 are the only ones that were programmed that way, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. So I'm going to remove this one because I don't need it. That was just an example of how the positions work. Again, I don't want to sit here. Oh, by the way, clearing the programmer and then coming back. If you locate, okay, so let me make them all up. And then I'm going to hit dim at full, which brings the dimmer at full. So dim at full, if I clear it out. Oops. What the heck? It did it again. Come back. Okay. Dim at full. Oops. Lay 1. What? Lay 2? Lay 1? What is wrong? Don't be breaking on me. What the heck? Why is my stupid taskbar? This is bad. I'm so bad at this. What the heck? It's broken. Now it's not moving. Anyway, let me just explain. When you hit dim at full, if I clear the programmer and then I select all and I put dim at full, well then, yeah, this froze. I'm going to have to hope it saved. I did a lot of work. I did 30 minutes of work. Anyway, position is like that. I can try to explain this. color, if you go to your color, these little wheels will adjust your red, green, and blue. But obviously, this is being stupid, so I'm going to hope that it saved, and I have to quit. It's over. Okay. MagicQ, when you open it up, continue last show. Thankfully, okay, good. It saved where I was at. But for some reason, it wasn't playing nice. So if I hit Visualizer, View Viz, let me hit Dim at Full. So, did it do it again? It's this Visualizer. That's the problem. The Visualizer, no, don't. Are you going to let me, you going to respond? Yes, shut down. I swear, if this breaks, I'm going to be sad. So anyway, this is a very uncut thing. I'm not going to adjust the window size anymore. Lay 1, perfect. Everything's still there. If I hit Visualizer, View Viz, and I come back here, it's working. So if I say dim at full, and let's just make them all go far up with dim at full. So here they are. Everything's at far up. Now, if I clear the programmer, and now I come back and I hit dim at full, their position is saved. And if you want to adjust the dimness, you pick your group, and this selected head's intensity, you can make them brighter or whatever, and then you go 50 to 100 by clicking the little quick button, kind of like every other thing. So anyway, position, that's it. Let's talk about color. So if I do all and I go to my color window, these actually just use a color wheel, where they can actually, so if I do, let's do dim at full, and I select all, and I go to my color wheel, as you can see, they're kind of being weird, and I don't quite understand it. But you can do every possible color of the rainbow, and it automatically pre-programs in some of these things, which is nice. Honestly, these are the only colors you really need. I mean, and then usually you would have like RGB sliders for red, green, and blue, or cyan, magenta, yellow, depending on the type of light. And you could adjust that to get more precise colors. But it just depends on the type of light. And these lights just have this color wheel where it's hard programmed. You can't really mix your red, green, and blue. I think you could go into color picker, but this never works for me, for whatever reason. So I think it just depends on the type of light. Colors are pretty self-explanatory. If you come up with a new color, then it's just, my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm very unprofessional here. Let me make sure my audio is still working. Check. Okay. So if you come up with a new color, you just hit record and it'll record that color, and you should probably do it for all of your lights, because if I go left, red, well, now my lefts are red. And then if I go right, yellow, now those are yellow, and now we have different colors. If I go right, even green, now it's every other one is yellow, everyone is, you get 5 lights. 1, 2, 4, 5. I actually have a light that is under the floor, if that makes any sense. But it's like glitching through, because see, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, but there should be 5. That's funny. That's my fault. Whatever. I'll just deal with this. So anyway, gobos or beams. You can change these. Let me do all and just show you. It changes the beam. So this is a really tiny one. This is bigger ones. Some of them have patterns. Some of them rotate. Some of them do whatever. These are angles. And so these are usually pre-programmed in back in the day. This one's kind of bubbles. Back in the day, people used to have to come in and program these really on their own. You also have your shutters, so I can go shut fast. I'll make them open. And anyway, if you ever mess up on something, just hit clear and then all locate, and again, they go back to normal. So that concludes the tutorial. I'm tired. I don't want to continue on. The next tutorial we'll talk about are Q stacks and playbacks, and most of the stuff that I do is like punted or busking. So I'll show you how I kind of set up my busking place where you just kind of program everything on the fly, and I basically I'll show you how to set up your execute window so that way it's pretty useful for multiple different things. And yeah, so this is episode 1 of Adventures with MagicQ. Thanks for watching.